So there is a race on to replace Rishi Sunak as Conservative Party leader, and it's gathering pace. James Cleverly, Tom Tugendhat, Robert Jenrick have all said that they will run.
The latest to throw his hat in the ring is the former Work and Pension Secretary Mel Stride, who joins us now. And then there were four. Can we just check, Mr. Stride, you are officially standing. Is that being confirmed this morning?
Yes, that's absolutely right. So I'm fully nominated, was nominated yesterday morning, and yes, my candidacy has gone forward.
So, why you?
Well, I think what we know from the last general election is that we're in a very, very difficult place as a party, and I worry about that because I care about my party and I care about my country. We've substantially lost the trust of the British people, and we've lost our reputation for competence. And I believe that I'm in a very good position to address those issues going forward. We have time to do that. In terms of trust, I think it needs somebody who's going to be able to unite the party. People are not going to vote for a party that's at each other's throats all the time. I am respected, I think, right across the parliamentary party. I was chair of the Treasury Select Committee, leader of the House of Commons. All of those things are roles about bringing people together. And in terms of competence, we've got a lot of hard work to do through time to get the right policy platform in place to present to the electorate. And there, I think I can be a driver of change. So when I was at the Secretary of State for Work and Pensions, I drove major reforms to welfare, which saved billions of pounds. And the OBR says 400,000 fewer people were going on to long-term sickness and disability benefits as a result of my work. I have a background in business and growing companies. Before I came into Parliament, which I did in my later 40s, so plenty of experience to bring to bear there. And we also need to look at reorganising the Conservative Party into a fighting machine, because we've got elections coming up next year for county councils and so on. And I think I will be well placed to drive that kind of change as well.
What personal responsibility do you take for the destruction of trust? I think that was the words you used. In the Conservative Party. Personally, what responsibility do you think you had for what happened?
So I think that as a collective party...
Now, my question was asked very precisely, and I'm interested in... Because we're speaking to quite a few of the people who would be leader like you, and there is a theme developing which people in your position now who want to be leader say, well, I think everyone's responsible. And the one thing I'm not hearing yet is anyone in your position who wants to be Conservative leader saying, do you know what I got wrong? And that's what you've given us a list of the things you think you've got right and that is your track record. I think people are entitled to know what you think you personally got wrong.
So I don't think, with great respect, that this is all about pointing fingers at people and saying this person didn't do that and they should have done that. We've actually got to get beyond that, and we've got to start looking to the future. And as I say, that is going to be about building trust with the electorate again, which means uniting as a party. It also means being an effective opposition, incidentally, which in turn means picking our targets, not snapping at every opportunity to try and do the government down along the way. And sometimes, of course, it will mean strongly supporting the government when we think they're doing the right thing. But on issues like those that you've been training in your programme this morning, of a budget that's coming up in the autumn, where we know that the government is basically rolling the pitch for tax rises that they promised the British electorate during the election they would not be coming forward with. Those are the things where we need to really dig deep and hold this government to account. Now, my background is very economic, so I was chair of the Treasury Select Committee for 3 years. I was financial secretary to the Treasury. As a minister, I had responsibility for all taxation in the UK, both corporate and personal. And I think those are also going to be skills that will allow me to forensically hold Keir Starmer to account across the dispatch box. So we've got to pick our fights, but there's a lot of work to do, but we've got to look to the future. There is so much talent. There's a reservoir of talent and enthusiasm, and there's a Conservative vision, which if we can get that out there effectively, there is definitely an appetite for amongst the British people. And that includes opportunity and aspiration, reward for hard work. It includes supporting families and communities. It means strong defence and, a society that can be at ease with itself. But we've got the time now in opposition to do the hard work, to get to the answers to those questions. But that will take time. But the first base is going to be to have a united parliamentary party, and I believe that I'm in the best position to be able to deliver that.
Well, we're very pleased to talk to you, and it's not the first time we've spoken to you, is it? Because I think there are stats knocking around about how often you were the Conservative face on broadcast organisations like us, and I think you're the winner, weren't you? You won that one because I think you were the most seen Conservative politician. Is that true?
Yes, I believe it is. I think I did about a quarter of all the morning rounds during the general election.
So to what extent do you think, I was just trying to carry on that thought, to what extent do you think, given how central you were to talking about the message of that campaign and how enthusiastic, I remember speaking to you myself, how enthusiastic you were for the product that turned out to be wrong? You just got it wrong. How much of a problem is that you were the person in front of everyone's TV screens telling us how it was going to be good? You got that wrong, and you were front and centre, and now you would tell us that you're precisely the right person to get it right.
So I'm a team player, and I will go out and I will fight for my team, even when things are extremely tough. And you're absolutely right. I actually stood up to the plate and put my head above the parapet and came on programmes like yours numerous times. In fact, I think I did GMB about 8 times, OK? And I did that because I cared about us winning. I cared about the future of our country. I wanted as many colleagues of mine as possible to win and hold on to their seats. And that was a really tough thing to do. And I recognise, of course, that we as a party made mistakes, not least, actually, in that campaign. But you have 2 choices in life, don't you? You can either say, well, actually, it's getting a bit tough, I'm going to go somewhere else and keep my head down, or you put your head up and you're counted and you go towards the gunfire. And that's what I chose to do, and I have no regrets about that.
We're pleased to talk to you today, and we have it now official. You are also standing to be leader of the Conservative Party as of, 6:30 on a Friday morning. So thank you very much. Nice to speak to you.
Thank you.